Hey, I'm smiling because I'm trying to get motivated. Seriously, try this. Try to smile and try to feel angry. Try to feel depressed. Try to feel sluggish and tired. Like, seriously, try it right now, whether you're watching me or listening. Smile and try to feel angry. You can't. You can't experience two emotions at the same time. I love simple strategies like that that could literally change your mood. And if we do it enough, change your life. This segment is all about how to get motivated, specifically three ways. And it might be something you just would never connect to motivation. Like the first one, anxiety. Think about this for a second. If you understand anxiety, anxiety is being in fight or flight mode. Remember biology class? You're literally worried about your survival. Your body, your mind think it's in imminent danger. And the fight or flight is I'm either going to fight this danger to my life or I'm going to run for my life. The problem is you're not facing a saber-toothed tiger. I've said this before. You might have just opened an email that triggers you. You might have just gotten a bill in the mail or a phone call from your child who's struggling or suffering with something. That can trigger our anxiety. Getting cut off on the highway. You can't fight or run away. You're kind of stuck there to deal with it. And that anxiety, there's a whole cascade of physiological events that are happening. One of them is the logical thinking part of the brain, the frontal lobe, responsible for things like, I want to just do great today in my business. I want to make those phone calls. I want to write that report. I want to reach out to those customers. Whatever it is that you know is going to make you successful can feel impossible. Why? Because your brain is in survival mode. It's not your fault. I say this to my audiences all the time. If you don't look and feel the way you want or have what you want, it's not your fault. There are these little strategies that coupled together, and one of them is managing or controlling anxiety, that will change your life. So, when you and I are in fight or flight mode, the logical thinking part of the brain shuts down. You're not logical anymore. You can't say to yourself, everything will be okay. You can't even feel optimistic at times. You can't see a future. You don't find solutions. I was just doing this with one of my clients. He controlled his anxiety with how I'm going to show you in a few seconds, how I'm going to share with you. And when he did that, he had these incredible ideas for business, how to make more money, who to contact. Like it just came to him. What he did was tap into his best self by getting his brain back online. So what I have found in this 4 years that helps control anxiety immediately, better than anything else, better than smiling like I just did, which I love, better than breathing and meditation and prayer and anything else you might be doing, taking a yoga class. Those are all important, wonderful things. I support them. But what I have seen help most is something called the vagus nerve exercise. If you follow me, you've heard me talk about it before. I've shared it with all three of my children. It has changed their lives with their anxiety. It has changed my life. It helps me instantly get my brain back online. It helps my children get their brain back online so they can be themselves. They can be present. It's so heartbreaking to see someone you love and care about be in the grips of anxiety. You probably know what I'm talking about. They're irrational. You cannot reason with them. You cannot tell them you're safe. Everything is going to be okay because they're just in this survival place. The vagus nerve exercise takes 60 seconds. I have a link for it. It's one of the first strategies. All you have to do is do it consistently and it will work. I've never seen it not work. That's why I love it. I love strategies like this. Now, you've done the vagus nerve exercise. Your brain is back online. Guess what? Your motivation comes back because you can think logically. You can think emotionally. You can direct your mind now to that goal, that weekend, that vacation, that job promotion, that looking and feeling amazing, wearing a certain outfit. It all comes back to you, right? Have you had visions where, man, I could see this for myself. I'm pumped. I'm in the zone. And all of a sudden it goes away. Well, did the vision go away? No. You might have just got stuck in an anxiety loop where your brain can't get back to that vision. This is one way to do it. So number one is anxiety. Number two, and I've not seen anyone else connect this, and not because I'm amazing, I just happen to have a nutrition degree, and I've observed with myself when I eat certain foods, my brain goes offline and it can trigger anxiety because this brain is connected to the gut brain. The gut brain has as much neurotransmitters and maybe more as this brain. And if my digestion is off, that's going to affect the vagus nerve, which is responsible for anxiety, which is responsible for the parasympathetic system to calm us back down after we've been stressed or someone yelled at us or someone cut us off or someone threatened us. That system can't get back online if I'm, number one, not controlling anxiety. And if I'm eating foods that's creating anxiety, it's creating bloating, digestion issues, inflammation. Inflammation is the cause of all disease: cancer, diabetes, heart disease, Alzheimer's, stroke. You name the disease, there is a relationship to inflammation. Inflammation is directly related to anxiety, stress that's out of control, and food that we're eating, specifically the processed food and the additives. I'm not villainizing any company, any fast food chain. They can do whatever they want. But what I want to know for myself and for my children and the people I care about, including you, is, am I eating something that's hurting me right now? So I'm in the zone, I'm excited, I'm motivated, I'm pumped, and all of a sudden I'm not. The first thing I'm going to do is ask, am I in an anxiety loop? I'm going to do the vagus nerve exercise. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to pray. I'm going to do all the things that I know help me. Then I'm going to look at the food. Did I just eat something? I'll give you an example. I was eating potato chips. I love potato chips. It's one of my go-to foods that have seed oils: canola oil, sunflower oil, safflower oil, corn oil, vegetable oil. Those seed oils have been shown now to cause inflammation. I know when I eat my favorite potato chips that have canola oil or safflower, sunflower, a blend of those oils, I feel worse almost immediately. I feel my motivation drop, my optimism drop, my vision of what I want to accomplish today. That motivation just goes away. What changed? What happened? Did someone call me and say, Peter, you suck, you're not good at anything? No, I might have eaten a food that triggered my anxiety, that inflammation affected my gut, and now I'm offline. And if I'm not aware of that, that is going to affect every person that I encounter in my life, my children, my partner, whoever I'm encountering with. The next client I talk to, the next phone call I make, the next email I send is going to be affected by that lack of motivation. Even if I could force myself to do it, the energy is not going to be there and it's not going to feel good. I'm going to feel like a phony. Imposter syndrome, right? Like, God, all this stuff is related. So some of the foods, I'm going to read you a list. I'm writing, hopefully you'll get this with this podcast. You'll get this blog post or whatever, however I'm going to send it to you, social media. So number one is anxiety, control anxiety with the vagus nerve. Number two is clean up your food. And I said this before, but weight gain, poor sleep, headaches, bloating, disease, anxiety, all can be triggered by the types of foods that you and I are eating. I just think that is so incredibly important and empowering to know, especially if you want to look and feel better. So you can clean up your food by eliminating seed oils, natural flavors. If you see that I saw it on a Kind bar. I like Kind bars because you could actually see the almonds, you could see the food, you could recognize it. But there's natural flavors. Natural flavors could be 200 different ingredients. I don't want that in my food. And you call up the company, you could ask them what are the natural flavors. They may or may not be able to tell you. MSG can be included in natural flavors. So what else can be included? And why isn't it on the label? I want to know for myself and for my children, for the people that I care about. I think we have a right to know. Hormones, antibiotics, hydrogenated anything. We just know that is not going to be good for us. High fructose corn syrup, rice syrup, maltose, cane sugar, fructose. These are all forms of sugar taken out of their natural form that we don't do well with. And there's just so much more. Basically, I heard someone say if it doesn't come from the ground or the ocean, or if it didn't have a mother, should you be eating it? I'm not telling you what to do. What I'm sharing is my personal experience, and my children and my clients, when they clean up their food, when they start eating more whole foods, they feel better. Their motivation comes back. When their motivation comes back, they're able to eat healthier. It's a positive feedback loop. If they're able to eat healthier, the motivation is back. They're going to get themselves to exercise more. If they've eaten healthy and exercised more, they're going to be more productive in their career, their purpose. They're going to have the brain power and the mental clarity and the focus and the present, being present to focus on that, right? I hope that all makes sense to you. The healthiest, and this, I love how simple this is. The healthiest people in the world eat animal proteins. They just eat better quality. They're eating wild fish, grass-fed beef and lamb, organic chicken and pork, pasture-raised eggs. They're eating animal protein. They're just eating a better quality of the animal protein. That is very encouraging to me. Vegetables, right? Beans are included in the vegetables. Greens, go crazy with vegetables. Just make sure they're organic. Fruit, same thing. Make sure they're organic. Berries have the highest level of pesticide residue. Now think about this. Pesticide, CIDE, means to kill. There's poison sprayed on our food. And then I had a client say, well, I have this vinegar wash. It's in the cells now. The genetically modified organisms have the pesticides sometimes mutated in that cell. You can't wash away that pesticide. It's part of the DNA of that fruit, vegetable product, whatever it is. You can't wash it away. And I think that's just so important to know. And herbs, just keep it simple. If you can't recognize it, you probably want to avoid it. So number one is control anxiety. Vagus nerve exercise, best way to do that in my experience. Number two, clean up your food. If it makes sense to you, you want to look and feel amazing, you really want to lose weight, you want to sleep better, you want to decrease your anxiety, you want to have more energy, you want to have more mental clarity, you want to be more patience with your kids. I mean, I can go on and on. Look at the food you're eating. If you eat something and you don't feel well, if you're in chronic pain, if you can't sleep, look at the food you're eating. There's a good chance that it might just be one or two ingredients that you're sensitive to or your body can't digest or creates enough inflammation to start that cycle. That's how powerful food is. That's why I just keep going back to it. And I'm going to keep telling you until you either say, well, this makes sense to me, or whatever. You do what you want. You're an adult. But if this makes sense to you, this might be something you have overlooked or didn't know about. That's why I want to share it with you. And number three is exercise. So number one, how to get motivated. Number one, control your anxiety. Number two, look at the food you're eating. Number three, fitness, exercise. Exercise might be a bad word for you. I'm smiling because there have been people that I've said, okay, let's talk about exercise. Oh, I hate exercise. Squats are the worst thing. There's nothing I hate more than push-ups or squats or whatever. And I think, really? There's nothing else in the world that you hate more? First of all, hate's a very strong word. I would reserve that for when you really, really mean it. And do you really hate the exercise, or do you hate... Here, let me tell you a little bit about exercise. Let me tell you what I've observed people are connecting to exercise. When I ask people, what do you think about during exercise? Guess what they tell me? Their bills, their schedule, did they pack their kids' lunch? Who's picking up the kids from school today? That email they got from their boss that they're asked to do more at work and maybe they didn't get a raise or they got a cut. Maybe people have been laid off at work and you have more responsibility. You don't feel appreciated at work. This is what some people, hopefully not you, are thinking about during exercise. And then they check their social media. Or they check their emails, or they check their texts. There's a good chance, I was talking yesterday to an audience, and this got a chuckle. I said, there's probably a good chance you're exercising, you're in the zone, and you look at your email. There's a good chance that someone's not going to say, hey, here's $1 million. You're an awesome person. Here's $1 million. You're probably, I hope you get it. You're probably not going to get that email or that text or that social media message. What you're going to get potentially something stressful, something you have to handle, something you have to take care of. You got to pay the rent, pay the mortgage, pay the car, do your taxes, whatever it is. It's probably not going to be positive, and it might trigger your anxiety, and then that whole cascade happens. Now you're exercising, you're not present, you don't feel good, you're thinking about something very upsetting, and you're conditioning yourself. Listen to this. You're conditioning yourself like Pavlov's dog to hate exercise because you're thinking and feeling negative thoughts and you're exercising. Your brain connects what you're doing to what you're thinking. If you're thinking stressful thoughts, you're allowing this to come in, you're checking your social media, you're upset by certain things, or you're responding to texts from family members or relationships or coworkers that are stressful, there's a good chance you're going to connect stress to exercise. And is it any wonder why then you can't get yourself to exercise? You've just had a negative association with it. So even if you did nothing else, if when you exercise, and exercise can be a 5-minute walk, it could be sitting on your couch and buying a pedal machine. It could be having dumbbells and doing dumbbells a couple times a day in between commercials, whatever it is. Or it could be a full out workout. Here's what I found about exercise. Because I studied it, I have a master's of science degree in physical therapy, exercise science, and when I learned this, it just made so much sense. When you and I are exercising, the body is releasing neurotransmitters, serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine. Those are natural antidepressants. Those neurotransmitters are found in antidepressants. You and I release them naturally when we exercise. So why wouldn't I take advantage of that? The body is also releasing endorphins, natural painkillers. If you're in pain, you know you can't think logically. You can't be present. Your brain can't experience, remember the smile and feeling angry? You can't experience two emotions at the same time. You can't experience two feelings at the same time. You can't be happy and be in pain at the same time. It's very difficult. A little bit of gentle exercise with focused thoughts can decrease your pain, get you out of that fight or flight mode. If you're eating healthy, you might be in less pain because you have less inflammation because you've eaten foods that are anti-inflammatory. You see how it's all connected? It's all a positive feedback loop. What I have found is a lot of people are well-intentioned and are doing one of these things. Maybe they're trying to eat healthy, but they're eating pseudo-healthy foods that have these additives in them, so they're not feeling any better, they're not losing any weight, or they're trying to exercise, but they're allowing these thoughts and social media to get in during the exercise, or they've got goals in their personal, professional life, but they're in an anxiety loop and they just can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. They can't see the optimism, the future, the goals. They can't use the power of their mind. So during exercise, you release neurotransmitters, endorphins, painkillers. I said neurotransmitters, right? Antidepressants, human growth hormone. Your body is releasing human growth hormone and testosterone when you're exercising. I mean, come on, that's like, it's nature's pharmacy. It's feel good chemicals that every time you and I exercise and we direct our minds towards what we love, who we love. I'll give you a specific example. When I exercise, I think about being away with my children, being away with my girlfriend. I think of being in front of an audience, maybe like you, sharing this stuff, having fun doing it. I think of inviting people over. I love to entertain. I love to cook. I think about inviting friends and family over and cooking and being together and sitting down with them. I think about making homemade limoncello or bone broth. I think about all the things in my life that bring value that I want more of while I'm exercising because my brain and my body are literally confirming that, making it stronger. When I learned this, it just made so much sense. That's why I shifted 30 years ago. I shifted exercise to be a resource. I did the same thing with nutrition. I'm not amazing. I'm not special. I'm not any different than you. What I did was just connect the food I ate and the exercise I do to my purpose in life, my kids, my career, my speaking, my purpose, my trying to do some good in the world, trying to serve you, being present, being a positive force, whatever it is. I connected eating a certain way and exercising, and you don't do that. You don't have to kill yourself. You don't have to starve yourself. You don't have to beat yourself up with exercise unless you want to. I've said that so many times. So to summarize, number one, if you really want to get motivated, You want to sustain motivation. Control your anxiety first. That'll get your brain back online. Then feed your mind and body with the best food possible. And then train your body and mind by directing your thoughts, tapping into all those feel good chemicals. And now you'll be in a positive feedback loop where if something happens to you, you get some bad news, you're disappointed about something. It's just a blip. It's not going to completely derail you because you have the three in motion: focus, food, and fitness. If you've got those three in motion, you won't get distracted for long. You'll get back on track, and it won't be 3 months. It won't be 30 pounds later. It won't be losing your job or not getting the promotion. This is what I have observed in my personal life. That's why I'm so passionate about it. I've seen this benefit my own children, my three children. I've seen this benefit my clients and my friends and the people that I care about. I hope it helps you. If you have any questions, always message me, email me. If you have my number, text me, reach out to me. If you want to work with me, if you want to have the best possible quality of life and not kill yourself doing it, reach out to me. Try my life coaching and my health coaching. If there's someone, if you're in an organization or a school or a company that can benefit from a motivational wellness leadership presentation, reach out to me. You have nothing to lose by saying to someone, maybe the principal or the superintendent or the president of your division, saying, hey, maybe we could do something to help all of us live this great quality of life. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, I'm Peter.